Good afternoon and welcome to Hampton High School. Danny Mitchell Field here behind 1600 West Queen Street as we are getting ready for a good Peninsula District matchup between Bethel High School and Hampton High School. This field named Danny Mitchell Field just Saturday passed in a very nice ceremony here with a lot of players and former coaches back to celebrate the dedication of the field to Hampton's longtime baseball coach, Danny Mitchell. Today faces crosstown rival Bethel. Bethel comes in under the leadership of Antoine Davis. Davis in his 8th year up on Big Bethel Road. He brings a 5-7 squad in today to face the 12-2 Hampton Crabbers. Could be a good ball game this afternoon. We'll see some good pitching, a lot of good defense, and some good hitting between these two squads. Don't let Bethel's 5-7 record fool you. They bring in a pretty good lineup. A couple of brothers, the Wexler brothers, who have a long history of playing great baseball at Bethel High School. And they've got one of the Wexlers on the mound today for Bethel. For Hampton, Trey Morgan, probably the best known of the Hampton Crabbers. The junior is in center field today. The pitcher for the Crabbers today is Brian McBride, one of the McBride brothers, a sophomore. He comes in with a 3-0 record, and we're expecting good things out of him today. So as the players are being introduced now, the Crabbers wearing their new jerseys. These jerseys are part of Lupus Awareness Day here at Hampton High, the Lupus Awareness Game. And these jerseys sponsored by a fan who wants to make sure that people in here in scholastically and around the city understand the lupus syndrome and the condition that and the condition of the groups that are out to raise some money for that. Danny Mitchell even in purple today, which is an unusual color for him to wear. Usually it's red or white. He's in a little purple today to commemorate and honor Lupus Awareness Game today at Hampton High. Now we're going to pause for the national anthem. We're ready to go here on a sunny Tuesday afternoon, May 1st, 2018. I want to know I misspoke. The coach over at Bethel's Antoine Tucker in his 8th year on Big Bethel Road with the Bruins. Coach Tucker getting his team ready to go to the plate. As you see Brian McBride getting ready to throw. McBride wearing number 18 as he turns his back to you there. Getting ready to warm up with his catcher, Charles Vassar. Brian McBride, a sophomore. Thrown 22 innings so far this year, giving up 7 runs and only 9 hits, 1 double. Struck out 18 in those 22 innings. Walks just 7 on the year, and an ERA of 1.30. So a good start for the sophomore. Defensively for the Crabbers, Trey Morgan in center field. To his right is Max Pietrzakowski. In left, To his left is Niall Epps in right. Then around the horn in the infield, Brendan McBride at third base. The shortstop today is Kecoughtan Johnson. The second baseman is Jack Joyner. And the first baseman, Julian Martin. The catcher you mentioned is the junior Charles Vassar. Umpires getting ready to go here. Behind the plate today, Chris Macbeth will do the calling of the balls and strikes. Bobby Golaski on the bases today on this sunny afternoon. Beautiful day. Really the first week of summer-like weather here in southeastern Virginia. See the shadows there coming off the players, so you can get the orientation of the field. Center field wall is to the northwest of home plate. Very little breeze today. First day I think we could all loosen our shirts here, get comfortable in warm weather. McBride wrapping up his warm-up tosses. Kiami Wallace going to lead off for Bethel, the center fielder. Then Michael Wetzler, the shortstop. Elijah Roberson at third base. He's hitting third. Nathan Wetzler, the pitcher, is hitting cleanup. And Brandon Parks at first.
Good afternoon, and here we go.
Heath Lee will be the designated hitter for Marcus King in right. Nick Seidnitz are doing the catching. Jacob Fleetcheck at second base, and Wayne Hunt hitting ninth and playing left field for the Bruins. So Kiami Wallace going to lead off. Right-handed hitter. Center fielder facing Brian McBride. Vassar gets his last instructions, comes back behind the plate, and we're ready to go. May 1st, first real true day of summer-like weather, and we're here at Hampton High at the newly named Danny Mitchell Field. First pitch from McBride is low, ball one. Wallace having a good year for the Bruins in the leadoff spot. That one catches the inside corner, good pitch. Strike one, 1-1 on Wallace. Rick Clark up here at the booth with me today doing the public address. Mike Trebus, our host, the athletic director. Swing and a miss. Strike two, 1-2 on Wallace. Brian McBride has struck out 18 in 22 innings pitched this year. Trying to get his 19th here. Wallace trying to avoid that statistic. Here's the pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Strike three. One down here in the first. And the batter is Michael Wexler. Wexler, the freshman at Bethel High School, shortstop. I'm told the last Wexler son to come through Bethel, he'd be the fifth, I believe. Michael, a right-handed hitter, facing the righty Brian McBride. McBride pops one foul, it's going to get out of play. I hope the cameras, and I know they do, pick up how beautiful this field is. You'll see the red artificial turf from dugout to dugout behind the plate. The grass is finely groomed, outfield nicely cut, all by Danny Mitchell, head coach of the Hampton Grabbers. The 0-1. Curveball catches inside corner, 0-2 quickly on Wexler. Elijah Roberson on deck for the Bruins. Ground ball to third. Up with it is Brendan McBride. He makes a throw to first base, and that's 2-on. Now the third baseman, Elijah Roberson, for the Bruins. Robertson, the third right-handed hitter, facing the righty Brian McBride. Grabber right fielder playing mighty close out there. Nick Epps out in right. And the ball taken by Roberson. Ball one. It's a big ballpark here at Hampton. Fastball misses away. 2-0. Driving to center field, Morgan back on his horse. Reaches up, can't make the play. The ball's going to go to the fence in dead center field. Morgan's up with it. The lefty tosses it in, and it's a 2-out double for Roberson. And the batter now, the cleanup man and pitcher, Nathan Wetzler, who'd like to get himself off to a good start here. Base hit will bring in the first run of the game. 4th right-hander in a row facing McBride. Roberson got all of that pitch and some. As it rolled right underneath the E out there in Crabber. Crabber baseball sign. Throw back to shortstop. Safely back is Roberson. Nice play. Kecoughtan Johnson at short for the Crabbers. Does a nice job to cover. Nice throw from the pitcher, but not in time. Roberson knows how valuable runs are going to be this afternoon against this Crabber team. 12-2, having a very good year. Pitch it outside. Ball. 101 Wexler. McBride to his set from the stretch. Delivers fastball, grounded up the middle. Base hit. Charging hard is Trey Morgan, and it goes under his glove, but the runner stops at third. So no run in. Obviously Roberson didn't see the ball go under his glove. It's going to be a single for Wetzler, second hit of the ball game. Roberson stops at third, so there's 2 outs, 2 on, and the first left-hander to hit it's the first baseman, Brandon Parks.
Now batting number 11, Brandon Parks.
So Parks steps in with a chance to pick up the run down at third base. Wetzler's going to, I'm sure he's not pleased with that. He had the base hit. Would have been a good play at home, but I think Roberson would have beat him if he'd been sent. Here's a pitch from McBride. Blooped right over the shoulder of the pitcher. Shortstop Johnson only got one play at first, and he makes the play on that little duck hit right behind the pitcher's mound. On charging was Kecoughtan Johnson, and he makes a nice play. Scored 6-3 for the 3rd out. And we go to the bottom half of the first. No score here at Hampton High School. 2 hits off of McBride, but no runs. And we watch the Bruins take the field now. Defensively for the Bruins, the outfielders from left to right, Wayne Hunt in left. Center fielder is Kiami Wallace. The right fielder is Marcus King. Then at third base, Elijah Roberson. Michael Wetzler is the shortstop. Second baseman Jacob Fleetcheck. First baseman Brandon Parks, and doing the catching today, Nick Seidnitzer. And on the mound, the big right-hander Nathan Wetzler comes in with a 1-1, 1-loss record this year. He's a senior. He's got his 9th grade brother behind him at short. And the big righty taking his warm-up tosses to the catcher Seidnitzer. For the Crabbers this afternoon, Trey Morgan's going to lead it off, playing center field. Kecoughtan Johnson at short. Brian McBride is the pitcher. Julian Martin in the cleanup spot. Catcher Charles Vassar hitting 5th. The designated hitter Darius Harris hitting 6th. Brendan McBride hitting 7th. Brendan Pietrkowski in left hitting 8th, and Nick Epps, the right fielder, hitting 9th. So Morgan keeping his eye on the right-handers. Tossing a few breaking balls now to get ready. 7-inning games here in the high school. As you can see that brand new scoreboard out in the right field. Danny Mitchell Field, just a really nice ceremony on Saturday. Well attended. Players from all over the country came back. Frankie Driver, who pitched in the mid-'80s for the Crabbers, went on to a minor league career. Frankie back from his home, I believe, is in Kentucky. Terrence McCormick, one of class of 1980 members. He and Brian Sproston back celebrating the honor of giving their head coach, Danny Mitchell. Trey Morgan's going to lead off. Morgan's hitting .537, just a measly .537 for the Crabbers. He's getting a 1 hit less, about 1 in every 7/8 at bat. Morgan, left-hander's got a home run on the year and 7 doubles. Driven in 9. Doesn't strike out very often. Of course, Trey Morgan, the name signifies, Henry Morgan III. His father, they played at Hampton High, so did his grandfather. Shows bunt, ball bounces away from side, and it's 1-0 on Trey Morgan. Of course, his father, the head coach of our local Peninsula Pilots. And his grandfather, the caretaker of those same Pilots. Trey grew up around Peninsula War Memorial Stadium. And he sure picked up a lot of good skills. That one's fastball, low, but right on the right corner of the plate, called strike. Good pitch from Wetzel. 1-1 now on Morgan. Good shot of Wetzler. One fastball fouled off. And the left field line's going to get out of play. The field of Wayne Hunt leaves it alone. 1-2 on Morgan. Danny Mitchell coaches third base for his squad. At first base, in his 20th year, is Danny's assistant, Joe Trimble. Next one's low, blocked, or attempted block by side netzer. No chance, no damage though. 2-2 now on Morgan. Side netzer, of course, comes from a long line of side netzers that play baseball around this area. Fine Hampton family. Big Hampton family. Ground ball to second base. Fleet check up with it cleanly. Makes the throw and retires Trey Morgan with a first out here in the bottom of the first. In the batter is Kecoughtan Johnson, the shortstop. Johnson hitting a paltry .404 on the year. 2 doubles, 18 RBIs on the year. Been benefiting from hitting behind Trey Morgan, the right-hander facing the righty. Wetzler delivers up and in, ball 1. Nathan Wetzler gets 1 out, gets a dangerous hitter. Now working on the second dangerous hitter. The righty to the set. Kicks and delivers. Fouled off. 1-1. Antoine Tucker down in front of his dugout with his assistant Scott Levin. His other assistant is Daniel Allen. And pitch inside very nearly got Johnson. Misses the strike zone. 2-1. Bethel with a good run last year during the regular season and into the playoffs. Ground ball foul down third base by about a foot. Hunt's going to have to chase that one down. New baseball for Wetzler. And the count is 2-2 on Kecoughtan Johnson. No score here, bottom of the first, on what is truly a glorious late spring afternoon here at Hampton High School. Curveball gets away from Wetzler over the head of Johnson. 3-2. Unusual to see the Crabbers in that purple attire. Certainly the stark color brings awareness to the disease known as lupus. That one hit him square in the back. Breaking ball again, didn't break, and hit Johnson square in the back. So he gets a free pass, but it cost him a little pain. Joe Trimble's going to check his runner down there, see if Kecoughtan's okay. Trainer's going to go out, do a double check. Joe's a lot of things, not a physician. Justin by Bias. We'll come out and talk to the home plate umpire, Macbeth. Side Nitzer gets a free visit to his pitcher. And Johnson's going to stay in the game over at first. Now Brian McBride, the opposing pitcher. Gave up 2 hits in the top half of the inning, trying to pick up the Crabbers' first hit here with 1 down in the first. Johnson over at first base. And throw not even going to count.
Now batting number 18, Brian McBride.
As they had not put the ball in play yet. Wetzler to his set. Johnson holds, pitches inside, misses, ball 1. Wetzler having a little trouble here with his second right-hander in a row. Come inside a couple of times. Johnson with 8 stolen bases on the air. Ground ball in the hole between short and third. Backhanded out there in a nice play. Throw over to first base. It got him at first. That's Michael Wetzler helping his brother out with a great defensive play out there. Johnson ends up at second base, but terrific backhand and throw off his back foot from Michael Wetzler, only a 9th grader. And he makes a good play to save what could have been first and third with 2 outs. With 1 out, now it's second base and 2 outs. And Julian Martin, the big first baseman, to hit. Needs a base hit to knock the run in. Side Nitzer sets up right behind the plate. Fastball high, ball 1. Julian Martin hitting .405 on the season. 1 home run, 13 RBIs. Pitch called strike. Good pitch from Wetzler. It caught just the outside back corner there. A little bit of a breaking ball. And he got the corner. So 2 down here, bottom of the first. Crabbers threatening. He's going to take a base hit to bring him home. There goes the runner to third. Side Nitzer up. No throw, though. So in safely is Johnson at third. Pitch of the ball. 2-1 on Martin. Martin, anything would get the run in here. Base hit. Anywhere on the field. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, the high fastball. 2-2 on Julian Martin. Martin, a senior. Wetzler trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here in the first. The righty to the set, steps off. Here's a pitch. Away, 3-2. Flags showing a little breeze out there from the left field towards the right field pole. Just a little bit of a breeze, though. Here's a pitch there. Pitch is high, ball 4. Martin thought about it, but he held up. And first and third with 2 outs, and the batter is the catcher, Charles Vassar. Vassar hitting .444 on the season. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 13 knocked in. Catcher, another right-handed hitter, facing the righty, Nathan Wetzler. Senior trying to get a win here in his senior season against the Crabbers at their field. Crabbers played Saturday, won 13-3 over Heritage. They were down 3-1 on what was Danny Mitchell Field dedication day. The throw to first base, back safely, is Martin. He's probably not going very far here with 2 outs and a man at third. Wetzler want to make sure he doesn't go. What's that? Force out at second base. Here's a pitch. Curveball, catches outside corner down to second base, and the ball gets away from Fleetcheck. The ball bounced out there. The run's going to score, and Martin's going to make it to second base. He had stopped ahead of a throw that would have gotten him out. Ball bounced up and then out of Fleetcheck's glove. Crabbers score the first run of the ball game. Martin ends up at second base. Probably going to score an error on Side Nitzer's. I thought he had him. Pitches a ball. Excuse me, it's a strike.
And it's up and in, 1-2 on Vassar. 1-1, excuse me. Which was a ball. So the 1-1 back to second base, and they got Martin dead to right that time as Michael Wetzler applies the tag. That's going to leave Vassar at the plate. He'll lead off the second for the Crabbers, but they're on the board first. 1 run there, an unearned run, and we go to the top of the second. 1-0 Hampton. I want to mention again, this is the Lupus Awareness Game, an annual event here at Hampton High School. And as the Michael Trebus, the athletic director, announced before the game, Hampton High School baseball program has chosen to bring awareness to this disease. It has affected someone close to there or the Crabber baseball community. So a nice way to make folks aware of lupus, and hopefully, if you feel generous, contact Danny Mitchell and he will instruct you on how you can donate to this worthy cause. So the purple attired Crabbers return to the field. Brian McBride with his first couple warm-up pitches. He's got the lead, 1-0 here in the second. What a great afternoon here at Danny Mitchell Field. Vassar a little help getting his equipment on as he was left at the plate. That was Keenan Hughes doing the warm-up tosses with McBride. Now Vassar's going to get 1 or 2 here. So home plate umpire Macbeth is going to keep a sharp eye, and we keep moving this game along. No clock here, no pitching clock at the high school level. Coach Tucker for the Bruins out, making his way to third base. Scott Levin is doing the base coaching for the Bruins at first. So both head coaches coaching their own third base here in this game. The designated hitter, Heath Lee, steps in. He's hitting in the 6th spot for the right fielder, Marcus King. A righty facing the righty, Brian McBride. First pitch from McBride here in the second. Grounded to short. Johnson up with it cleanly. Athletic shortstop makes a throw and retires Lee on 1 pitch. 1 down here in the second. The batter is the catcher, Nick Seidnitzer. Nick Seidnitzer, a 9th grader. Freshman. Again, comes with a great baseball background and baseball family. And he takes a strike. Seidnitzer, right-hander, facing the righty McBride. Outfielders straight away. Trey Morgan a little shallow in center, and Epps very shallow in right. Seidnitzer pops one that way, but it drops foul by about 4 feet. Bobby Golaski, the umpire, giving the quick signal, and 0-2 on Nick Seidnitzer. Epps going to pay attention out there. There's also a lot of room along the left field line. Vassar out to behind the left-hand hitter's box. That time Seidnitzer stretches one. Second baseman Joyner up with it quickly and makes the throw. Nice play by Jack Joyner. As Joyner reaches over, makes the play, and fires it to first. 2 down here in the second. And the batter is the second baseman, Jacob Fleechek. Fleechek, if you follow Little League baseball on the peninsula, very well known. Comes from a great baseball family. There's a ball high from McBride. Jacob has quite a history in Little League. Certainly a tournament valuable player for Northampton Little League. He grounds one into the hole to left field, base hit. So the third base hit of the afternoon for the Bruins. It belongs to Jacob Fleechek, and he's at first base with 2 outs. And the batter, the number 9 hitter, the left fielder, Wayne Hunt. Fleechek, a ninth grader over at first base. And Hunt, a junior, at the plate. With 2 down, McBride looks in. Trey Morgan in center has shifted a little bit to left center. Epps stays where he is in right. And Pietrkowski's moved towards center. That fastball catches the outside corner. Strike 1 on Wayne Hunt. Leadoff man Kiami Wallace on deck for the Bruins. Bruins need this ball game. They're trying to make their way to the playoffs. That pitch is away. Couldn't get him to chase it. 1-1 on Wayne Hunt. Hunt looks down to Antoine Tucker to get his sign. The veteran coach gives it to him. Fleetcheck with a short lead at first, being held by Julian Martin. And we got time called at the plate. Now the American flag showing wind blowing the opposite way, as we just said. Now it's blowing out of the northeast, blowing across the outfield right to left. And picked up a little bit in velocity. McBride delivers. Ground ball to short. Wallace on 2 hops. He's going to go short. No, he's going to go to first base. Makes the play. Good look, but no time to flip it to Joyner, so he went to first base and retired the side. So the Bruins strand another base runner. And we go to the bottom of the second. They trail it 1-0 here at Hampton. For Hampton, Charles Vassar comes back to the plate. He was at the dish when his teammate Martin was picked off of second base. It'll be Vassar, Darius Harris, and Brendan McBride for the Crabbers here in the second. Nathan Wetzler makes his way back to the mound. Wetzler gave up no hits, but a run in the first. On the crew today, we have my broadcast partner, Wube Gabre, out sick today. I hope he feels better. Andy Foley, of course, running our crew today for LSC. Directing today is Krista Campbell. Randy Begoli on our sound. Renee Camden in the truck handling the cameraman. And we got a motley crew on the cameras today. Nate Braxton on 1, Alex Begoli on 1, and Steve Fryer, the veteran, on the 3rd. So a motley crew of cameramen under the guidance of the veteran Renee Camden. As we see the ball being thrown down by a side Nitzer, and we're ready to go here in the bottom of the second. Charles Vassar takes off his equipment. He's put it off and on the last couple innings more than usual because he was at the plate when the first ended. The right-hander come to bat. 1-0 Hampton here. Vassar certainly would like to give his pitcher some breathing room. You know, the Bruins' Nathan Wetzler wants to keep this game close. The right-hander delivers. Pitch, all-speed pitch, caught the outside corner. Strike 1 on Vassar. Vassar, as I mentioned, hitting .444. 16 out of 36 on the year. He's got some power at 5 doubles and 2 triples. Here's a pitch. Grounded in the hole. Backhanded out there by Wetzler. And nope, it drops it. But I'm going to score to hit. I'm not sure he would have been able to throw Vassar out. It's a tough call by any scorekeeper because that's the first base hit by the Crabbers. I'm going to give it a hit because Wetzler was deep in the hole. Now he's shown his arm already, but Vassar a little bit quicker than the last runner. He makes it to first on the single, and now Darius Harris, the designated hitter. Another righty. Harris hitting .231. Vassar with a big lead at first. Pitch in is a ball. Vassar with 7 stolen bases. 3rd on his squad behind Trey Morgan and Keyshawn Johnson. Throw to first base. Had him lean the other way, but by the time Brandon Parks applied the tag, Vassar was back in safely. Parks, a left-handed first baseman. That's a good piece to have down there. Got his big glove down near the bag. There's a pitch. That one's inside. 2-0 on Harris. Harris, of the same name as the Darius Harris, who graduated 4 or 5 years ago from Hampton. He became a very good player over at the apprentice school here in Newport News. He pops one straight up, but it's going to get out of play. 2-1 on Darius Harris. No relation to the prior Darius Harris. Well, I saw just the other day. He looked good. He had a great career at the apprentice school, playing for Coach Brian Cave over there. Throw to first base. Trying to catch Vassar not paying attention. He was, and he's back safely. Wexler looks in to side Nitzer. In the background, you see Vassar taking his lead, and he comes to the set. The delivery up and in on the right-hander, ball 3. Coach Tucker of the Bruins keeping an eye on his senior right-hander, giving him some encouragement. Outfielders for Bethel play a little deeper than the Hampton outfielders. And probably smartly so. Here's the pitch. Nope. No, the pitch was called a balk on Wexler, so the runner takes the base, but the pitch is the ball becomes dead, and Harris is going to go back to plate with a 3-run count. That pitch is not a good one. So a balk called. Out comes Tucker to figure out what happened. If we had a replay, we could take a look at it. Wexler's got to come to a complete set and hold it. It's a perceptible pause. He's got to hold it long enough to know that he's holding it, and then come to the plate. Bobby Glasky, the umpire, giving Antoine Tucker the full explanation on the call. And the yellow-capped manager going to make his way to the pitcher to fill him in. Apparently he's telling him he moved his the glove. He had the ball in hand in the glove and may have gone up and down one too many times. 1-0 lead for the Crabbers here, bottom of the second. 3-1 count on Darius Harris with the runner now at second base. So a duck on the pond for Harris. Got 7 RBIs on the year, looking for his 8th with a base hit. Fouls it straight back at Rick Clark. We both duck. 3-2 on Harris. This ballpark, if you haven't seen the Danny Mitchell Field here at Hampton High School, come out and take a look at it. Drive right around the back of the school. It is a finely groomed, well cut, colored everything. It's beautiful. On a day like today, it's gorgeous. Pitches away, he walks it. Second walk given up by Nathan Wexler. 2 on, nobody out here in the second. The batter's Brendan McBride, the third baseman for the Crabbers. Brendan McBride 9 for 33 on the year, or 242 average. He's got a double, 9 RBIs, a left-handed hitter. Second lefty to face Wexler. He got Trey Morgan to lead off the game around the second. Right fielder Marcus King very deep for the Bruins. Runners take big leads, but hold. Ball is pitch is high, ball 1. You can see Harris in the background there. Brandon Parks not holding the runner since there's a runner at second. To pop foul over toward the third base side. It looks like it's going to get out of play, and it does. Third baseman Robertson gives chase, as does Michael Wexler. Wexler actually going to cover third base. The Wexler brothers come from a long line of Northampton baseball players, Little League players. They all have played a lot of ball, and they have been great contributors to the Bruin program over the past, it's got to be 10 years. Now the senior Nathan with his brother, the freshman, out at shortstop, getting ready. Bruins in their travel greens with Bethel across the front, white pants, and those great Bethel socks, green with the gold bars across the calf. Pitches high, throw down to third base. Robertson is off the bag himself, so the runner's safe. Robertson was coming in defensively, did not have time to get back. Pitch was a ball, 2-1, and the runners move up 90 feet. So second and third now, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Good crowd out here today on a Tuesday afternoon. Both teams well supported in the community. They can always use more fans. So if you enjoy good baseball, come out and watch these two teams when they play the rest of their regular season. They pitch low, ball 3. So Wetzler got himself in a little bit of a jam here. Goes up the single to short to Vassar. He walked Harris, now McBride. And with a 3-1 count, looking for something over the plate. A lot of room in right center field for the left-hand hitter. As Marcus King has slipped a little bit towards the line. Good shot from center field. Here's the pitch. That one driven to right center field. Nobody's going to get it. It's going to bounce up against the fence. And in comes one, in comes two. And McBride in for the double. The 2 RBI double. And the Crabbers moving in front. 3-0 here in the bottom of the second. Still nobody out. I'm not sure King would have had that ball if he had stayed in mid-right field. Center field of Wallace was deep. And again, there's a lot of room in the alleys here at Danny Mitchell Field. And here is Petrowski. The left fielder, a right-handed hitter. Max hitting, well, he's 2 for 2, so he takes a pitch high, ball 1. I want to thank Danny Mitchell and his staff for providing the stats today. Kecoughtan, a right-hander. 1 a year again, playing, just having his 3rd at bat. He's been used as a runner, it looks like. Scored 3 of those. That ball low, dug up by Seidnitzer. He's going to go down to second base. Very close play. Also very close to hitting his pitcher in the head. Fortunately, Nathan Wetzler ducks out of the way. 2-0 on Kecoughtan. P-I-E-T-R-Y-K-O-W-S-K-I. Kecoughtan. How I was instructed. I believe I've called him in the league as well. Most of these players get their start in the local little leagues. That one fouled off of the plate, then off of Kecoughtan, then off of the fence. Strike 1. 2-1 now on the left fielder, with Brendan McBride out at second base with a stolen base. Two 2-1. He shows bunt, pulls it away, and takes the ball away. So when you're struggling, the plate seems to tighten up some. That was close. But Chris Macbeth said, nope, too far out. Here's a pitch. Shows bunt again. That called strike. 3-2 now. On Kecoughtan, Nick Epps on deck, or Niall Epps, excuse me, now on deck. Epps hit 294. Throw back to second base. Brother to brother, but not in time. As Brendan McBride learned his lesson. And I watched that shortstop, Michael Wetzler, has already showed us his arm today. Shows he knows how to play that spot. Here's a pitch. Driven foul off the right side out to the Hampton Roads 664. Free souvenir for a commuter. Hampton with the woods surrounding the backstop. And then 664 behind that. The trees have grown in through the years, so we don't get as much sound as we used to out here. Here's a pitch. Pop foul again. That looks like that's going to be out of play. Parks is going to make a run for it. Can't get it. No, does come out with it. Yeah, it dropped right behind the fence where we had a hard time seeing here, but right in the back corner by the dugout. Parks makes the catch. Nice play, and that helps his pitcher out a great deal as the runner at second base has to hold now Niall Epps. The right fielder is going to step in. He's still got a duck on the pond in the form of Brendan McBride. After the red crab on the purple field of these jerseys. Right-hander facing the righty. Wetzler delivers. It's fouled straight back. Epps, 12 for 34 on the year for a 294 average, 3 doubles, 8 RBIs. Looks down to third base to get the sign from head coach Danny Mitchell. Now he steps in. Wetzler to the set. He delivers. Bunt shown, called strike. Ball bounces away from side netzer just enough to get McBride to third base. 0-2 count on 9 left with Trey Morgan on deck with 1 down here in the second. Parks with a nice play out there to get that first out. Very important for Bethel here in the bottom of the second. Here's a pitch. Curveball called, strike 3. Good pitch from Wetzler. Caught the outside corner, about shoulder high. Close enough. 2 down now, and Trey Morgan. Morgan with 9 RBIs on the year, the leadoff hitter most of the time. He grounded to second base his first time up. Plenty of room in front of right fielder Marcus King. So the left-hander stands in. Junior facing senior in the delivery. Curveball in for a strike. Nice pitch to start the left-hander off with. 0-1. Morgan with a chance to put his team up by 4 with a base hit. Here's a pitch. Drives one to right field, base hit. It's going to drop in front of King. And Morgan with his 10th RBI on the year drives in the 3rd run of the inning. As McBride, who seems to have been out there about 20 minutes, finally scores. He drove in the first 2 with a double. Now Morgan with a single. And the batter, the number 2 hitter, Kecoughtan Johnson, who was hit square in the back in the first, but then came around and scored a run. And back is Morgan. So Nathan Wetzler in the hole now, 4-0. There's a pitch. Upstairs. Ball 1. Nice starter pitch though from Wetzler. I think the off-speed pitch first. The one to Morgan was a good pitch. That one just a little high to Johnson. So Trey Morgan with a good lead at first. Now he's back. Parks takes it in that peach basket of a glove the left-hander wears down there. Trey Morgan will steal a base. He's got 20 on the year. There he goes. It's a pop foul. Looks like it's going to get out of play. Even Parks can't get that one with the big glove. Drops right in front of the trees down the right field line. 1-1 now on Kecoughtan Johnson. Trey Morgan probably had that one stolen. He's going to try to get it here. Parks holding him close. Wetzler watching him over his shoulder. Here's a throw to first. Back safely is Trey Morgan. Curveball in for a strike. Morgan trying to steal it 21st base. He's in there. He's got it. Well, Fleetcheck made a nice catch out there and a good throw from side netzer, just not in time. So 21 stolen bases now. Pitch was a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kecoughtan Johnson, but he's got the duck on the pond that he needs to drive in for the Crabbers. But a 1-2 count. Wetzler very effective with the curveball in this inning. Here's another one, and he got him. Did he not call a swing? Nope. They're going to check the bases umpire. No, did not go. I thought he might have gone, but called a ball. It was a great pitch from Wetzler. Curveball has proved to be a good weapon here, although he's given up the 4 runs in the inning. 2-2 now on Johnson. 2 outs. Curveball, and he swings late and grounded the pitcher. Wetzler up with it. Throw to first base. High throw is caught by Parks for for out number 3. But the Crabber damage is done. The first 3 batters all have scored, and they've pushed the lead out to 4. It's 4-0 after 2 here at Danny Mitchell Field at Hampton High School. Folks, a lot of programs on LSC 48. I hope you can spend a little time watching this. And if you like it, let the city of Hampton know. We enjoy bringing you these ball games. I've had to say hello to my partner, Wube Gabre, who's out ill this afternoon. Wube out here along with me on Saturday to watch the dedication of the field. Wube, one of the 2 individuals with Bethel High School shirts on. I don't think the sickness today is related to the fact that Danny Mitchell saw him with a Bethel High School shirt on during Danny Mitchell dedication day, but he survived. I'm not sure Lee Martin, the athletic director at Bethel, did survive. We haven't seen him since Saturday, so it could have been some trouble wearing his Bethel Bruin attire to the Crabber Field. But very nice of him to come out and support Danny. What we learned from Saturday is that with all these, they had a good 40 players back for the Crabbers, and I bet you not one of them could recite all the statistics or all the wins and losses of their careers here on Queen Street. But I will tell you, each one of them had a story about Danny Mitchell and had a story about each other and being teammates while in high school. So as you watch these players today, if you see them out in public, commend them on their commitment to playing baseball for their high school. And let them know you saw them on LSC. 4-0 Crabbers. We go to the top of the 3rd. Ryan McBride staked to a nice lead. That's the leadoff man, Kiami Wallace for the Bruins. Then Michael Wetzler and Elijah Roberson. Roberson with one of the 3 hits for the Bruins. Wallace, like to add that, had a hit to his stats today. Struck out in the 1st. First pitch in is low, ball 1 from McBride. Mike Trebas and Rick Clark working on the scoreboard here. It is never an easy task. Scoreboard makers tend to put as few buttons as they can and then not tell you what they do. It's a pop foul out of play. So you push 100 different buttons. Often, as I'm sure Rick and Mike know, you have to push the restart button and reset the whole game. The score is correct. They say on that great British comedy, the IT crowd, when the phone rings in the computer department, have you tried turning it off and on again? It's my solution to most computer problems in my life. I'll call somebody that knows. Pitch is grounded at third base, foul by a foot. Nice effort out there by Brendan McBride. That ball's going to roll down the line. Here's a pitch, and that's fouled off in the screen towards the Bethel dugout. Assistant coach Daniel Allen telling his batter to go ahead and swing a little quicker. 1-2 still on Wallace. Wallace needs to get on here. Watch McBride look over the top of his glove and deliver. Curveball, grounded up the middle. Wallace, Johnson throws out Wallace. And a nice play. Keyshawn Johnson getting some action today. His 4th ground ball. 1 down here in the 3rd. The batter is Michael Wetzler, the 9th grader. He grounded in 3rd his first time up. Wetzler, a right-hander, facing the righty McBride. Here's the pitch. And he bunts it down 3rd base line. It's a good bunt. He's going to just let it go, and it rolls foul right as it hits the dirt. It looked good for a while, but he aimed it just a little shy of 3rd base, and it went foul. Good thinking by Wetzler. I don't think they would have had to play it first if it had stayed fair. His on-deck man, Roberson, hands him his bat. We're ready to go here with a 0-1 count on the freshman. Second pitch to Wetzler. Or driven at left field. And an oncoming Pietrkowski makes the catch. That's a nice play out there. That looked like it was dying as it approached him. But he's able to charge in and grab it. 2 down here for the Bruins. They trail it 4-0. Here's the number 3 hitter, Roberson, who doubled back in the 1st inning. He takes a strike from Brian McBride, excuse me. Brendan is the third baseman. Brian's the pitcher. Infields Johnson at short, Joyner at second, and Julian Martin over at first. That pitch is away, 1-1. Mike Travis has been put on hold, I think, with the scoreboard company. All away, 2-1. 2-1 now to Roberson. Drives him right back up the middle. Base hit. His second hit of the day. Morgan fields it and brings it in. So a 2-out single for Elijah Roberson. And with him at first base, it's the cleanup man and pitcher, Nathan Wetzler. Mike Treva's going to the handbook here. Yeah, that's right. Pitch is up and away, ball 1. So Roberson holding closer at first than he probably would be, trying to get pushed around by a base hit. Roberson made the third base in the first inning. They couldn't get him across. Pitch catches the outside corner. Good pitch from Brian McBride. Time call. McBride gets himself set. Brian, the sophomore. Brendan, the third baseman. Brian to the set. There goes the runner to second base. Throw down in time under the glove of Joyner. Rolls into center field, but backed up by Morgan. Stolen base for Roberson. 1-2 count on Wetzler. Now a man to pick up the first run if Wetzler can hit it somewhere in the outfield. Right fielder Niall Epps playing about 30 feet behind second baseman Jack Joyner. Now he moves back some. The 1-2. Curveball perfect. Strike 3. Perfect curveball, probably the best one from either pitcher all afternoon. Wetzler not happy. He takes a look at the home plate umpire Macbeth, who says, let's not do that again. And we go to the bottom of the third with the score. Hampton 4, Bethel 0. Mike Trebus trying to figure out the scoreboard. This is in an athletic director handbook, I'm sure. I'm trying to figure out. I know I've been stuck with the scoreboard, not of this new generation, even, which I think is probably more complex. I had like something at Fenway Park. It still can be complex. Wetzler upset at himself. He leaves a man at second base. The fourth man left on base for the Bruins. We go to the third and they trail it 4-0. Travers coming to the plate. There we go. Look at that. He opened the instruction book. Danny Mitchell over there talking to Brian McBride, his pitcher. And then makes his way over back to the dugout. Phil Malillo right to Danny's left. And Julian Martin, the on-deck hitter. Joe Trimble with the beard there, walking his way toward the plate so he can get over to his spot at first base. Throw down to second base. Fleetcheck flips it to Wetzler, and Wetzler over to Roberson. To Parks, to Wetzler. And we're ready to go here with the right-hand hitter and pitcher Brian McBride. McBride grounded to second base. It was shortstop, excuse me, first inning. He's 0 for 1 today. So lower that 263 average slightly, making him 15 for 39 on the year. Excuse me, 10 for 39 on the year. So Wetzler on the mound. As a strike in, and Mike Treva said did not have to use the handbook. As he puts the handbook back in the case. 0-1 to the pitcher. Pitcher to pitcher, that's about a 58-footer. That's ball one. Wind blowing in left field, blowing away, so blowing out. So it continues to swirl here at Danny Mitchell Field in Hampton High. Liner out to left field, base hit, falls in front of Wayne Hunt. He picks it up, makes a throw in, and it's a leadoff single for McBride. The batter now, the first baseman, Julian Martin, who worked a walk back in the first. Right-handed hitter. Kiyomi Wallace straight away in center field, as are the other outfielders, Hunt in left and King in right. One's in for a strike. So Nathan Wetzler settles down here in the bottom of the third. Parks holding the runner at first. Throw over first base, not in time. Back safely is McBride. Parks, the left-hander, with that glove right down the bag. Wetzler delivers the pitch. His bunt shown, but it's off the end of the bat for a foul. Strike two on Martin. Not a great pitch to try to bunt that time. Wetzler having a lot of success with the off-speed pitch, particularly to the big right-handers. It's not a consistent. It doesn't come in the same spot each time. Doesn't come in the same speed, but it's been effective. The 0-2 to Martin. He swings and misses. Strike three. One down here. Second strikeout for Nathan Wetzler. And now the catcher, Charles Vassar. Vassar got the show started in the second for the Crabbers with a single. He came around and scored on the 2 RBI double by Brendan McBride. Throw over to first base. Back is Brian McBride. The junior catcher. Vassar 16 for 38 now, a little higher than 4 or 5. Back safely again is Brian McBride, the opposing pitcher. So trying to keep the double play in position here. Here's the pitch. Runner does not go. Side Nitzer with a nice block of the curveball. And it's 1-0 on Vassar. One. We'll see. Runner holds again. That one's upstairs. Well, he had 2-0. And picking up a little bit on the left field side. On the right field side, very little. A little channel out there near the score by the center field mark. That one called strike. Pitch from Wetzler inside, probably a baseball inside, but he got the call. And Side Nitzer is set up for him nicely. Often the catcher can determine it by either positioning himself and getting it thrown where he wants it or framing it. That time Side Nitzer sets up on the inside corner, as he does again. That one's low. 3-1 on Vassar. Vassar, 8 walks on the year, knowing he can help his team by drawing a 9th. throw to first base back safely is Brian McBride. Pitch it. Called strike. Up a little bit high in the zone, but got it called. Good pitch from Wetzler. He's done it a couple times with the high fastball. Full count now on Charles Vassar. Pitch thought a little better than the last one, but caught a ball. Ball 4. Third walk. Excuse me, second walk surrendered by Wetzler. Runners down first and second with 1 out. And out comes Antoine Tucker to talk to his senior pitcher and his infield. Joe Trimble's going to bring the variety of arm pads and leg pads from the last 2 hitters. Looks like he's got a collection box down there at first base. They're going to run for the pitcher. The Crabbers will run for the pitcher. Miles Alexander is going to go in and run for Brian McBride. The pinch runner is Miles Alexander, wearing number 2 for the Crabbers. And the hitter, the right-hander Darius Harris, who walked in the second, came around and scored on the double by the on-deck hitter Brendan McBride. Nathan Wetzler looks in, got 2 on behind him, 1 down. First baseman Park creeps in. And kind of a don't want to swing by Darius Harris. So makes it strike 1. Curveball fooled him. So it started the second inning, throwing that breaking ball to the right-handers, and has had some luck with it. There's a bunt shown. It bounces away from side, and its ball hit the dirt. It's going to be a wild pitch. Both runners going to advance. They were moving on the play. Now second and third, 1-1 count on Harris with 1 down in the third. 4-0 lead for the Crabbers. They look to stretch their record to 13-2. Can't even begin to give you the playoff scenario yet. There's 6 different divisions, different conferences. You have to have graph paper to figure out if you can make the playoffs. That pitch gets it outside corner. Another good breaking ball. 1-2 on Harris. The Virginia High School League, when they went to the different conferences, it became more complex. This would be a classic Peninsula District matchup. I'm not sure the Peninsula District even exists officially. That one's almost got him swing. That time he called strike 3. So that time, that's called a strike. 2 down now on the third inning. And Brendan McBride's be counted on for the 2-out base hit. The left-handed hitting third baseman had a double and knocked in 2 runs in the second. He comes to bat here in the third inning with a chance to repeat with just a base hit, as both runners will be moving on the pitch or on the crack of the bat here with 2 outs. Lefty waits. Curveball. Catches the strike zone. Good pitch from Wetzler. That curveball's been effective. Now let's see what he'll do on the second one. He's been going to another breaking ball. Tucker is flashing the signs to Side Nitzer. Side Nitzer relays them, and here we go. And it's a step back. No pitch. And both runners not far enough to worry. The sophomore says, nope, I don't need to swing it at me. 1-1. So the senior Darius Harris out at second base. The junior Charles Vassar at third. Excuse me, the junior or sophomore Brian McBride, now Miles Alexander, the junior at third. He pinch running for the pitcher. And fouled back, 1-2. Alexander at third. Vassar at second base. 2-2 count now to McBride. Curveball, fastball's up and away, 2-2. Not real close there, so no need to not worry for McBride. West will probably come back with another breaking ball here. He's been able to find the zone pretty well with that. Starts up high, drops just below the shoulder to catch the strike zone. Curveball again, but it's too high. 3-2. Nice crowds gathered here for the ball game. Both sides stands filling up. And why not? It's a beautiful day to be outside. If you can get here and see baseball, come on out. Teams play usually Tuesday and Fridays. That one's low. Ball 4. Ooh, tough placement. I know Wetzler not real happy with that call. He got the benefit of the last one. Max Kecoughtan. And Tucker's going to go to the bullpen. His second visit of the inning. And it looks like Jacob Fleetcheck's going to take over. We'll keep an eye on the musical chairs here. Fleetcheck, the second baseman. The 9th grader is on to pitch. Look, his mother arrived just in time to see him. I see her down there with arms over her, or shielding her face from the brilliant sun that is setting over left field. But we'll see where Wetzler ends up. Probably, and it looks like he's going to go to first base, but we'll see how that works. Is Antoine Tucker trying to make the decisions of how to reposition his player. Jacob Fleetcheck, wearing number 1. He's grown quite a bit since I last saw him. Probably a head taller than he was a couple years ago. Now 9th grade at Bethel. Curveball's a nice one. Young man has played baseball most of his life, and he's very good. He's not only good athlete, it's a great pitch right there, but good teammate. Has always contributed anything he could, even when he was the smallest on the team. No longer so, but smallest. But a contributor always. Umpire Bobby Golaski is going to talk to the infielders of the Bruins and Coach Antoine Tucker. Tucker in his 8th year, as I mentioned. Had a great run last year. Playing about 500 ball. He's 5-7 coming in. So Nathan Wetzler goes to second base, so it's a straight change. The runners belong to Wetzler. And the batter is Max Kecoughtan, the left fielder. Right-hand hitter facing the curveball throwing Jacob Fleetcheck. He's got 2 outs here. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. No runs in, but they have runners on all the bases. Fleetcheck on to try to shut this down. First pitch, fastball right down the middle, strike. That may be the only straight one he sees from Fleetcheck. Kecoughtan, his 4th at bat, takes one. There's a curveball, but it breaks low. 1-1.
Hey, ready to come forward, Marcus. You're coming forward.
Outfielder straight away against Kecoughtan. His pitch, curveball low. Good break on it. He hadn't found the zone yet. 2-1. Fastball catches the bottom of the zone. Good pitch. So he comes back with a heater and able to pick up strike 2. 2-2 now on Kecoughtan, who's looking for his first base hit of the day. His 3rd of the year. And it would bring in 2 runs. The 2-2. Ground ball chopper to Roberson at third. He picks up the short hop, makes the throw over to Parks, and that retires the side. So Fleetcheck gets it done as he entices the ground ball out from Pietrkowski. So the Crabbers load the bases, drive out the starting pitcher, but they're not able to score. Score remains 4-0 after 3 here on LSC. Bethel hopes to pick up a little energy from that ground ball out to see if they can get a few runs on the board here in the top of the 4th. Brian McBride back out on the hill. Remember that Miles Alexander had come in. Looks like it was Keenan Hughes out to warm up McBride, but Vassar had to get his protective gear on. He puts the helmet on. He's going to take a pitch or two. The sophomore pitcher. One more to Vassar. And he'll be ready to go here in the 4th. Ball thrown down. Good throw. And with Eddie Money coming on the music here, could we pause the inning a little bit, Rick, and just play the Eddie Money for a little bit? Nope. Brandon Parks wants to hit. First baseman for the Bruins grounded to short his first time up. Left-hander getting his second shot at McBride this afternoon. His team trails at 4-0 here in the top of the 4th. First pitch. Catches the outside corner, strike one. Parks, that's only the second pitch he's seen. He hit the first pitch for a ground ball in the first. The whole 0-1 here, McBride delivers. Called strike up high, but that's where the zone has been today. It's becoming apparent. Zone's up near the shoulders. And it's 0-2 quickly on Parks. Vassar moves out away. Oh, he almost sitting in the dugout. That one. A little exaggerated distance away from the plate behind the right hitter's batter's box. And not surprisingly gets ball one. 1-2 here to Parks. That one misses away. 2-2. Rick Clark trying to get a little shade up here so he can see. It's brutal when that sun starts to set over the left field fence. Ground ball to second base. Joyner up with it cleanly, makes the throw. It looks like Dylan Leapak is taking over at second base. That was Leapak making the play. One out of here in the 4th. Here's a designated hitter, Heath Lee. So in your scorebook there, the second baseman who's in the 6th hole, but he's got a designated hitter. This is Leapak. And as we watch Heath Lee take a ball away, 1-0 here, one down in the 4th. Heath, the designated hitter, rounded to short his first time up. Hot foul. Going to be over here right in foul territory, the right fielder, and Niall Epps makes the play. And that's 2 down. And the batter is Nick Seidnitzer, grounded to second base his first time up. Dylan Leapak at second base for the Crabbers, a junior. Wearing number 4. As we hear Seidnitzer take a strike. Right-handed hitter. Takes curveball way high, 1-1. Seidnitzer, a very solidly built catcher, a 9th grader. He's only going to get bigger and better. Pitch is called strike. Both pitchers have benefited from that high strike today. Seidnitzer knows that. He's disappointed when it's on you, though. He steps back in. Good picture of Seidnitzer there. That curveball's fouled off as a defensive measure. Not sure, but it caught the zone, but it was a good one. 1-2 still on Nick Seidnitzer. Curveball fouled off the face mask of Vassar. Stays 1-2. Another good protective swing by Seidnitzer. The count stays 1-2. Score still 4-0. And out goes Chris Macbeth to talk to the pitcher about, oh, he's going to just give Vassar a little time to recover from getting that ball off his face mask. He's okay. Macbeth with the courtesy. Shakes hands with the catcher. Be sure he's okay. Good protocol there and good baseball etiquette. The 1-2. Grounded to short. Up with it is Johnson. Makes the throw. So the Bethel Bruins go in order here in the 4th. I am not sure that was Johnson at shortstop. We're going to see when they come to the plate. There are 2 ground ball outs for Seidnitzer today. And we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 4-0 Hampton. Now Epps, the right fielder, then top of the order, Trey Morgan and Kecoughtan Johnson, but I think he's been sub for, so we'll see. We've been waiting for the phone to ring up here to get the subs, but there's no phone, so. See there, Rick Clark, good picture of him. Rick, stand up straight there because you're on TV. See that? Now he steps away. Very shy. Jacob Fleetcheck on the mound for the Bruins here. He's honing that curveball. Got the Crabbers out in the bottom of the 3rd. Got his team out of a jam, inducing a ground ball. Now his first full inning as Seidnitzer gets his glove and cap. It was Heath Lee doing the catching to warm up the pitcher. Fleetcheck. A nice little fastball. He's not going to overpower anybody, but if you combine a fastball low in the zone with a good curveball like Fleetcheck has, then you're very effective. He looks like just tried a little change up. That was a nice spot. Let's see what he does against the batters here. Curveball in. You can almost hear that ball spin, Rick. I hear the little spinning. Oh, that's a bee. Springtime is here. So Fleetcheck with one more. Seidnitzer. Nice throw down on second base. And we're ready to go in the bottom of the 4th. Crabbers lead at 4-0. Joe Trimble makes his way to the first base coach's box. And Niall Epps makes his way to the plate. He struck out looking in the first. Epps starting tonight hitting .294. Dropped off a little bit with a strikeout, but not much. First pitch from Fleetcheck. Driven into left field, base hit. So Epps with a base hit. Just right past the glove of Roberson. And there's one on, and the leadoff man, Trey Morgan, to hit. Trey Morgan, the left-handed leadoff hitter. Entering the night hitting .537. He's
came your way last
1
time,
for
Marcus.
2 tonight. Had a base hit in the 2nd to knock in a run. Knocked in the 3rd run of that inning. Now Morgan back at the plate with the runner at first. Epps was 4 stolen bases on the year. That time the throwovers gave Epps plenty of time. He's back safely. The right fielder for the Crabbers takes a short lead, nothing much. Park still holding him. That big left-handed glove near the bag. Fleetcheck to his set and delivers. Fastball's low.
Let's go now, let's go.
Trey Morgan steps out, looks down at Danny Mitchell in the third base coach's box, steps back in. And Epps with a little bigger lead at first. Here's a pitch. Morgan shows bunt, takes a strike, and in safely is going to be Epps with a stolen base. Good throw, a little high. Morgan lets that one float by. Compliment side Nitzer on the throw. So Epps now at second base. Morgan with a chance to pick up his second RBI of the game. He can get a base hit. Throw back to second base, goes into center field. Nobody moving to the base. That time, Fleetcheck may have been thinking ahead. Wetzler didn't move. Neither Wetzler moved. Michael at shortstop and Nathan over at second base. They weren't aware of the play. They can talk about the dugout whether there was a play there. Wetzler and Fleetcheck talk to each other. With two freshmen, Bethel baseball in good hands. All these freshmen coming on, getting the start here in the 2018 season. By 21, they're going to be a powerhouse again. That one inside, a good curveball, broke, and a good read by Morgan. Those left-handers would have bailed out of there, seeing that thing starting to break into his shin, but Morgan with a good eye at the plate. Steps back in again. He grew up around War Memorial Stadium watching those Pilot players. Watch his dad coach. That one fouled sharply through the dugout of the Bruins as he waited on that curveball. Got way too much of it. 2-2 now on Morgan. Henry Morgan III gets his baseball skills. They come from the Morgan side, I think. Gets his good looks, though, from his mother. No question about that, and his father wouldn't argue. Infield in now. As runners move to third base. That pitch it away. 3-2 now. As Epps at third base, trying to get home with a fifth grabber run. Morgan awaits. Jacob Fleetcheck to the set and delivers. Curveball grounded to first base. Runner's got the hole. Great pitch by Fleetcheck. Morgan runs it out, but Parks has got it. Looking the runner back, and he makes the tag. So good play by Parks prevents a run. And now we got a sub here. He didn't know it's Johnson. I thought maybe he had subbed in. But he is going to hit again. He is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first. Curveball. That one's laced in the left center field. Base hit. Easily scores Epps. Johnson makes a big turn at first, but he's going to have to hold. So an RBI single for the shortstop. And the Crabbers move ahead 5-0. His first RBI, first base hit. Here's Brian McBride, the pitcher, who's benefiting from this hitting of the Crabbers. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Right-hander facing the righty Fleetcheck for the first time in the ball game. Right-hander delivers. Fastball's low. The zone today seems to be higher than normal, so trying to throw it low to the big hitters isn't working, so they have to come up in the zone. Fleetcheck may go to the curve here. Johnson very quick. Over at first, he holds. That one's fouled right off the end of the bat, off the tip of side Nitzer's glove. Strike one. Kecoughtan Johnson with 8 stolen bases on the year. Looking for his 9th out there with 1 out here in the 4th. It's 5-0 Crabbers. Fleetcheck to the set. Curveball blocked by side Nitzer. Couldn't get the batter to go, and the runner's going to take second base on that curve. Slow curveball. So now Kecoughtan Johnson at second base, and Brian McBride with a 2-1 count. Pitcher would like to help himself here. Base hit would bring the run in. He's going to try to fight off one of these good curveballs from Fleetcheck. Here's a pitch. That one's a straight fastball, and it's high. Ball 3. Wind blowing out towards the left would help McBride if he could lift one. Plenty of room in left center. There's a pitch. Just misses inside. Good pitch. 2 on, 1 out here. 1 run in the 4th for the Crabbers, and the batter's Julian Martin, the first baseman. A little special run for the pitcher again. Miles Alexander has to return in that role. He does. Number 2, Miles Alexander, the junior, is going to run. So the starting pitcher gets a break. And Jacob Fleetcheck in a little trouble here. He's got 1 out with his 1 run in. And Julian Martin, the cleanup man, in 0 for 1. And he's been hit, so he's still 0 for 1, but he's gone on base again. He's got a walk, hit by a pitch, and a strikeout. He stood in there and took that one off the backside. So Fleetcheck to settle down a little bit. Michael Wetzler comes in and helps his fellow freshman settle a little bit. And the batter's Charles Vassar, the catcher. Vassar with a single and a walk, so he's 1 for 1, scored a run. His last at bat was a 7-pitch battle, allowing him to draw the walk. Now Fleetcheck steps off, and in comes the Bethel Bruin infield. So it's Roberson at third, Wetzler, well, Michael Wetzler at short, Nathan Wetzler at second, and Brandon Parks at first, and they bring it in. Bases are full of Crabbers. Up and away, ball 1. Keyshawn Johnson at third, Miles Alexander at second, Julian Martin at first. 1-0 count here with 1 down. Bruins would love just to knock the run down, keep the run from scoring. Double play would be even better. That one swung on and missed. Big swing. Of course, that's Fleetcheck's forte. He throws something that looks like a slow fastball, and then it breaks off the plate. And Vassar that time couldn't have hit it with a broomstick. The 1-1. Curveball up and in. Ball 2. A good curveball, though. Throw early in the count. Keep the right-hander honest. But it comes right at his shoulder and breaks underneath his right armpit. It's a good shot of all the Crabber base runners, and the Bruin infield brought in. Fleetcheck. Kind of a, I don't know if it's a change-up or just a straight fastball. It didn't go very fast, but he gets the second strike on Vassar. Vassar way out in front of it. Fouled it off his own foot. A 2-2 now on Charles Vassar, junior catcher for the Crabbers. Chance to knock a few runs in here. Got 13 RBIs on the year so far. Curveball grounded in the hole into left field. There's 1 run in. Around comes Alexander. There's a reason he's a special runner. He runs very fast, and he's in for the second run. So a 2 RBI single for Vassar. Martin stands in second base. So 7-0 now, Crabbers. Well, here's the hitter in the 6th spot. I'm running out of space to right in the 6th hole. They have a special runner for the catcher. Everybody in today. Johnny McCarthy's going to come in and run. So McCarthy enters the game. And the batter is Jake Malcolm, hitting in the 6th hole. Malcolm substituted for Darius Harris as designated hitter. And Lee Pack is in the field for Joyner in the 6th spot. So 4 names in 3 spots. Pitch up and in, ball 1. Jake Malcolm looking for his 2nd hit of the year. Got 2 RBIs. Has walked 4 times, and bases, he would add a 3rd Crabber on there. There's Martin at second. Johnny McCarthy at first. That one's a ball. 2-0. Fleet check. Trying to get that first strike to Malcolm. He looks in and delivers. Fastball fouled off. It's an interstate ball. It's good velocity. Going up over the visitor dugout. May have caught the screen. It's hard to see one from our perspective. The top of that fence on that right side. Side to retrieves one. It's a 2-1 count to Malcolm. Curveball, perfect curveball. There's that curveball he's been looking for the last inning. So 2-2 on Malcolm. Malcolm, a senior. Here's a pitch. He swings and catches the end of it, but it's caught by side nets for strike 3. Two down now in the 4th. Grabbers lead at 7-0. And the batter, left-hand hitting Brendan McBride. Brendan with a 2-run double in the 2nd. His 2nd in bat. First against Fleetcheck. It's a left-hander. Moves the right fielder back some. Marcus Kings takes a few steps back. Still lots of room in right center. Exactly where he put his last one. Pitch up and away, ball 1. Jacob Fleetcheck. Let a few in this inning. There's 3 runs in. Next pitch swung on and missed. A little late on that one was McBride. The sophomore third baseman today. Right-handed in the field, left-handed at the plate. Waited on the curveball and bloops it into right center field. 1 run's going to score. Throw's going to come to third base. Roberson applies a tag, and the Crabbers run themselves out of the inning. So the run's going to score. The run of Julian Martin, but McCarthy trying to stretch from first to third on that bloop single is thrown out. Scored 8-5 with the 3rd out. So McBride gets his single and gets his RBI, his 3rd of the afternoon. Crabbers pick up the 8th run, but they leave 1 on the bases. We go to the 5th. It is 8-0 Hampton. Well, folks, LSC is going to bring us some softball later this spring. And hopefully, Andy Foley, a little baseball in the playoffs. Weather permitting, says our producer down there. I hear her. Krista talks. I say, yes, ma'am. I tell you, weather like this, we could play every day. This is Ernie Banks weather right here. Let's play 2. 8-0 top of the 5th. Brian McBride on the mound with a comfortable lead. For the Bruins here in the 5th. Fleetcheck, the pitcher, Jacob Fleetcheck, going to lead off. He's got a single today. Wayne Hunt, the left fielder. And then the top of the order, Kiami Wallace. Bride, relatively easy afternoon so far. He was in trouble in the 1st and had a runner in the 2nd and the 3rd, but cruised through the 4th. Mostly ground balls, most of them to the shortstop Keyshawn Johnson. So Fleetcheck trying to help himself out now, maybe get a runner on. They can break up this shutout here in the top of the 5th. The right-hand hitter. For those of you that don't follow Little League baseball, he's wearing the same colors here, the Northampton Little League colors at Bethel High School, and of course Hampton with Little League wears the Hampton colors, black and the red and the white. Fleechek takes the ball high. He hit a 1-0 pitch in the left field for a base hit in the second. Jacob awaits, pitches away. 2-0. That time Brian McBride overthrowing a little bit. Trey Morgan in closer in center. Fleechek a spot hitter. Ninth grader awaits. That one misses low and away. 3-0. Again, as I've mentioned, Jacob Fleechek, he will earn his way on. He would stick his arm out to get hit if he could get on base and help his team. He's that kind of player. And he awaits the pitch. Brian McBride with a 3-0 count. That one right down the middle. Strike one. Fleechek taken all the way. See the red artificial turf lining the back of the backstop. There's a little bloop in the right field, but playing him correctly was Nick Epps, and he makes the catch out there. So Fleechek tries to poke it into where they're not. That time there was somebody there. One down here for the Bruins, and the batter, the left fielder Wayne Hunt. Hunt has grounded to short tonight. Four hits for the Bruins on the night. That one's flashed at the left field, base hit. Stopped there by Pietrkowski, going to throw it in to the shortstop. But there's the fifth hit for the Bruins, and Hunt's first of the night. 1-on-1 out here, top of the order for Bethel. Kiami Wallace, the center fielder. Right-hand hitter. He's looking for his first hit tonight. He's grounded to short and struck out. Third at bat against McBride. Always makes it tougher the more times you see a pitcher. It's tougher on the pitcher. First one in, swung on and missed. Wallace going to put his shoes back on after that swing. My goodness, he was looking for something a little closer to the plate, and when looking to hit it over the fence. Good cut, but he missed it. 0-1. The center fielder. Back throw over. Throw a little high. Martin does what he can with it. May have had the runner if the throw had been perfect. Again, you got a right-handed first baseman, so already a slight disadvantage over a lefty. Curveball misses away. 1-1 on Wallace. Right-handed first baseman all over the world that will argue with me, but a left-handed first baseman still got the advantage having that glove on the base side. Throw over first base, and they call him out. That time Hunt picked off Martin with a quick play. Hunt doesn't believe it. So a nice pickoff move by McBride. Nice tag by Martin, and the right-handed first baseman picks off the runner. So still count still 1-1, but there's 2 outs on that board now. Here in the fifth for Bethel. You at home can play that one over and over as we watch a foul ball hit by Kiami Wallace. 1-2. So threat avoided with a nice pickoff move. McBride helps himself. And a 1-2 count on Kiami Wallace. Struck out on a 1-2 pitch in the first. There's a pitch up high, 2-2. Michael Wetzler on deck. He's 0-2 tonight. Grounded to third, popped to left. The Bruins have put the bat on the ball. 2 strikeouts for McBride. Foul ball down third base line. Antoine Tucker, the head coach of the Bethel Bruins, lifts a foot, lets it rolls by. Rick Clark now in full shade mode, trying to keep his face out of the sunshine. Got a bloop on the infield. Going to drift out to center field. No, it's going to be Wallace, Johnson, the shortstop, and he makes the catch. So that's 4 up, 3 down. And the Bruins come up with a goose egg again here in the top of the 5th. Thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. Yeah, Johnson with a nice drop back to make that catch. to put out the leadoff man. So we go bottom of the 5th. 7-0 is what we got up there. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 8, but we have 8 runs, 7 runs. They didn't call it. They didn't let him score. Interesting. I thought he was in the halfway of the dugout. Yeah. So if you're scoring at home, Julian Martin's run did not count that time. With the throw down and the play at third base, they said that Martin hadn't scored yet. So that had to have been called by the bases umpire Golaski. He's watching a couple things, but no run there. So it is 7-0 Crabbers as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Jacob Fleetcheck on the mound. Second full inning for Fleetcheck. Came on and closed out a really tough situation in the 3rd. Got a ground ball. The bases loaded to close out the 3rd. Gave up 3 runs in the 4th. And now his second full inning of work against his Crabber lineup. Kecoughtan's scheduled hitter. And now Epps and Trey Morgan. We'll see if Danny Mitchell goes to the bench some here as we get in the later innings. Bride cruising along on the mound. He should be okay. The pitch counts and all that these days. Coaches watching their pitchers very closely. They are going to go to the bench. It's got to be Chance Patrick, if I had to guess.
7's Chance Patrick in the plate.
It's Chance Patrick.
Hey, you good,
Here we
Marcus? Hey,
got
right
Patrick
there,
coming
Marcus.
on. Number 7. He's going to hit for Kecoughtan. Chance Patrick, just a sophomore here. Son of the late Judge Pat Patrick, former baseball player and basketball player here at Hampton High School. Chance, another star of the Hampton With Little League. That's where he came through. Takes a look. Down at Danny Mitchell at third base. His head coach says just hit the ball. So Patrick now with a chance to hit. He's hitting .333, and he pops one foul down the third baseline. Good distance, but went over the fence down there. You see the signs around the field, the Danny Mitchell field here at Hampton High School. Danny Mitchell has grown up on Queen Street. Graduated, I believe, in '71 from Hampton, if I had my years right. 71 or 72. Came back in the late 70s and has been on the football staff since then. Head baseball coach, I think, since the mid 80s, maybe the 84, 85 area. But has groomed this field his whole life. There's a foul off of a good curveball. Patrick in the hole 0-2. But this field is cut by Danny Mitchell. The city of Hampton, I'm told, their lawn care team not allowed on this diamond. Danny has used, he and his players have used money they can raise and contributions to keep this field as beautiful as it is. Pitch it away, 1-2 on Patrick. Fleetcheck and Chance Patrick have squared off against each other plenty of times. No strangers. Right-hander with a curveball, a big left-handed hitter. Here's Fleetcheck's delivery. Curveball misses away. That's a good one. That's one of the good Fleetcheck curveballs. He started a little too far out, hoping Patrick would reach for it. He did not, so he's at 2-2 count. Nobody on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Grounded to third. Robertson on the short hop. Second time he's done that tonight. Throw over to Parks and retires Chance Patrick. With the first out of the inning, 1 down, and we go to the right fielder, Niall Epps. Epps, a freshman, right-handed hitter. He's got a single tonight and 2 trips, and he scored a run back in the 4th. 7-0 Hampton, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Jacob Fleetcheck trying to keep the Crabbers in check. Fastball's low, ball 1. But if you get out here and look at this field carefully, you'll see the care given to it. Infield is cut very sharply, major league like. Infield groomed very nicely, and then the grass is just terrific. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Hips hitting close to 300 now. 1 for 2 tonight. Again, just a ninth grader. So both teams, a lot of young players in the lineup. Both depending on those in years to come. That pitch is away. Time side nets are set up over the inside half of the plate, and the pitch was just away. I think he might have gotten a call if he had been set up out there. I think Fleetcheck missed his target. 2-1 now on Niall Epps with Trey Morgan on deck. Swing and a miss. Good pitch right up under the arms. 2-2 on Niall Epps. Hampton High School opened in 1956. Done some work on it recently. Still going strong. That pitch inside. 3-2 on Epps. Principal Kevin Davis, Principal Tiffany Hardy out on Saturday to dedicate the field to their head baseball coach. IB program, the International Baccalaureate program, headquartered here. Of course, the home of some really good coaches out here at Hampton High. Swing and a miss. Fleetcheck with his second strikeout of the game. And now with 2 down, here's Trey Morgan. Blonde hair tucked up underneath the helmet a little bit this time. He's decided he's going to take himself to Virginia Military Institute to play baseball when he graduates in a year. Be glad to have him. His father started his college career at VMI. Great baseball program. It's a tough first year, but one that I know Trey is well aware of. He's 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI single in the second. Takes a fastball on the outside corner from Fleetcheck, strike 1. Jacobs settled down here in the 5th. Morgan looking for something to hit. 2 out. He'll be swinging at most anything near the zone. Maybe poke it to left field if Fleetcheck stays out there. Looks like he's going to try. Curveball called strike 2. That's a great pitch from Fleetcheck. Side netzer didn't budge either. That was a curveball thrown the glove on the outside corner. Morgan not happy with that. He steps back in. Good shot of Henry III. Set to be high and is taken all the way. Not going to fool Trey Morgan. You got to throw something good at him. That curveball for the second strike's the best pitch to get him. It's hard to judge as a left-hander if that ball's going to break across. Of course, as a left-handed pitcher, Trey Morgan lives with that curveball on the outside corner to the right-hand hitter. Fleetcheck delivers. That one poked in the left center field for a base hit. And there's a reason this guy hits over 500, and that's it right there. Trey Morgan rounds in a Jake Cave-like manner at first base, but holds for the single. For those of you locals, you know what I'm talking about. Jake Cave now in AAA for the Minnesota Twins, I believe. He was in the Yankee system, a Kecoughtan high grad, whose father's the head coach of the apprentice school. Is a young man that never rounded out towards foul territory at first, always rounding like he was going to take 2. Kecoughtan Johnson now steps in. Johnson with an RBI single in the 4th, hit by a pitch in the 1st and scored a run, so he scored 2 runs, knocked in 1 and struck it. Grounded to the pitcher first with the 3rd at bat. Throw over, and Morgan, who's got 1 stolen base tonight, looking for another one. 21 stolen bases on the year for Trey Morgan. Time called at the plate in a rather vocal manner by umpire Macbeth. So Johnson steps back in. Morgan fakes it, ball inside, gets away from side netzer, and that's going to allow Morgan to take second base. Not a stolen base, but a ball on Johnson. The 1-0 with the duck on the pond for Kecoughtan Johnson. He's got 1 RBI tonight. Like to pick up a second. 2 down here in the 5th. Here's a pitch. Morgan to third. It's fouled off down the third baseline. Morgan probably had that one stolen. Kecoughtan Johnson smiles at his teammate as he makes his way back to second base.
Hey, we got to keep it close. Hey, we got a aggressive base runner out there. Got to keep it close.
See Trey Morgan tag up. And now good shot of Johnson at the plate. See that good crowd behind there. Upstairs, ball 2. Trey Morgan's grandfather and grandmother in the stands tonight. At least one set. I don't see the other. Both local. Henry and Sue Morgan in the stands. I can hear his voice. Swing and a miss. Henry Morgan, the owner of the Peninsula Pilots, and you folks that are watching LSC, if you like baseball on this level, come see the Pilots play in the summer. War Memorial Stadium on Pembroke Avenue. Bunch of college all-stars from all over the country come in, and Hank Morgan guides them. Curveball called strike 3. Good pitch from Fleetcheck, and he goes an inning without giving up a run. Good pitching by him. 3rd strikeout for Fleetcheck, and we go to the top of the 6th. It is 7-0 Hampton. You're watching baseball on LSC. Channel 48 on the Cox system. 23 or 22. Somewhere down the double digits on the Verizon Fios system. Run sports 24 hours a day. You catch your football games you may have missed, your basketball games you may have missed, softball, volleyball, baseball. Brought to you by the Hampton City television station. That veteran crew over there. Mention them again. Of course, our commander-in-chief, Andy Foley. But directing today, Krista Campbell, Randy Begoli on the sound, Renee Camden monitoring those cameramen. She's in the truck trying to keep those 3 guys straight. And on those cameras, Nate Braxton, Alex Begoli, and Steve Fryer. Our veteran out there, Steve Fryer. Steve's the sideline man at the football game. I was talking about something the other night about Steve Fryer, and he had a little incident last year where he got yanked down by an accidental cart. Fortunately, he's okay. He survived. He was back doing sideline stuff very quickly, and brings you some great shots on the football field. Now you can see it on the baseball diamond. You can see these cameras now with the LSC get you right in on the action. Probably better definition than they have. There he is out there. Yeah, what is he? He's got a Baltimore Oriole hat on. Yeah, Steve Fryer, Kecoughtan grad. And a sportsman himself, quite a golfer. But a great cameraman, and he's teaching a lot to young Alex Begoli, and of course Nate Braxton, a veteran out there on the other camera. Good crew here at LSC 48. If you see some of these new council member elected, thank them for keeping together this great organization, LSC. It's fun to come and call a game with my friends from basketball and football season. Michael Wetzler now, the freshman, steps in. He's 0 for 2. Right-hander facing Brian McBride. He's rolling along. He delivers a strike that's fouled off. 0-1 on Wetzler. Wetzler Roberson and Wetzler's older brother Nathan Wetzler here in the 6th. They trail it 7-0. Antoine Tucker trying to chip away here, bring his team back a little closer. That one taken high, 1-1. That one's in for a strike, 1-2. Bride shows a little bit of a breaking ball. Picks up a 2nd strike. Wetzler steps out, now steps back in. Another veteran of the Little League. Just a good, solid baseball player. Hitting 2nd as a 9th grader. That's fouled off. 1-2 it stays. Vassar gives it a look. Rick Clark's car is not parked back there, so he's not worried at all. The veteran announcer down here. True, he parks across the street, I believe, to keep away from any foul ball. Vassar goes way outside for this one, and the pitch is missed pitch. McBride came right over the plate. Vassar was sitting behind the left-hand hitter's batter's box, did not get the one he wanted. Wetzler did. He drills it in center field for a base hit, his first hit of the night. 6th hit for the Bruins. And now Elijah Roberson. Roberson got him off got the start going in the first with a double to right center. They left him out there after another single by Wetzler, Nathan Wetzler. But he's at plate now. He's 2 for 2 with a single in the third. Right-hand hitting third baseman. Side of McBride. McBride to his set and delivers, and it's away. That's the one that Vassar wanted, didn't get. And Michael Wetzler made him pay for it. So Michael over at first base with a nice lead. Julian Martin holding him there. And it's a ground ball, a little squiver back to the pitcher. Only one place to go, and McBride makes the right play as Wetzler was already at second base. So a nice knockdown by the pitcher. He makes the play, one down here in the sixth. And Nathan Wetzler trying to break up the shutout here. He's on the hook for the loss if he can't get his team back into position here. So he wants to knock his brother in. I'm sure there's been times he wanted to knock his brother out. This time he wants to knock his brother in. Michael at second, Nathan at the plate, one down here in the sixth. Brian McBride looks over his shoulder and delivers. High fastball, ball one. The Bethel crowd, which is staring into the sun. We should give them those glasses you get after you get eye test. It is fierce looking out the diamond from that side, the first base side. Here's a pitch. Catches the outside corner, strike one. This is, Rick, you gotta have those glasses we used for the eclipse last year if you're on the first base side today. It's sunshine just now setting over the left field foul pole, shining right in the face of the fans. Strike called as a generous outside corner called, 1-2. Nathan Wetzler has not been happy with the zone all day when he was on the mound or when he's at the plate. He was not happy then, and I can't say as I blame him. Vassar had set up outside, got the ball exactly where he wanted it though, and it's called a strike. That one misses away. 2-2. Wetzler's got to think though, if it's ball outside, he's got to take it. 2 on the big senior. With his brother at second base, still waiting for him. Swing and a miss at a good fastball. And McBride happy to get that strikeout because he was worried. Nathan Wetzler, good hitter. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Couldn't get it that one hit here. Now Brandon Parks. Grounded out twice, has the left-hander. 2 down here in the sixth. Michael Wetzler still out at second base. He's been there a while. And his ball bounces away from Vassar, but Wetzler, a little worried by the shortstop flipping behind him, did not have a good break and goes back to second. Vassar quickly to recover. 1-0 count on Brandon Parks. Parks grounded to short and grounded to second. Looking to lift something over that right fielder's head. That's practically in on the infield. Vassar frames it but can't get the call on the high pitch. 2-0 now. Parks gets anything in or half in, he's got a good chance of knocking over the head of Epps and breaking up the shutout here. Throw back to second base. Ball goes into center field. Michael Wetzler, respecting that arm of Trey Morgan, stays. The junior center fielder, that's the second time he's held runners by backing up that play. One and one on Parks. Left-hander awaits. You can see him there. Here's the pitch. Up high. 2-1. Parks with a good eye at the plate so far tonight. Just hadn't been able to lift it out of the infield. Again, Epps in no more than 25 feet behind, right on the grass behind second baseman Dylan Leapak. Here's a pitch. Upstairs, 3-1. Brad may be tiring a little bit here. It's his 6th inning of work. On 5 2/3 so far, giving up 6 hits. But the guy with the 6 hits at second base. And the guy's grounded out twice at the plate. 3-1 now to Brandon Parks. Parks, a sophomore. That one's inside. He walked it. by my book. First walk given up by Brian McBride. Assistant coach Justin Vias. Vias? Going to go out and talk. Former Hampton High player. Gave a nice speech on Saturday to honor his head coach, Danny Mitchell, for whom he played. He looks around like he's looking for what they're going to have a relief pitcher, but they don't. He just says, "How you doing, Brian?" Brian says, "I'm okay, coach." That's just the first walk of the night, given up by Brian McBride. Now here's Heath Lee, designated hitter, and he's put his bat on the ball twice, popped out to right and grounded to short. 2 men on, 2 out here in the 6th inning. Bruins trail it by 7, but they sure would like to break up the shutout first and then move for more later. Base hit would do it. McBride, curveball, low, good pitch but low. Ball 1. Lee's only seen, that's only his 4th pitch he's seen. He hit the first one for a ground out, hit the in his second at bat for a pop-up. His 5th pitch that he's actually seen from McBride, he misses away. That pitch right there shows you if the catcher is set up out there, he certainly has a higher chance of getting the call on a pitch, maybe 1 baseball out to the right-hander. But it's 2-0 now. That one's way away, 3-0. Lee is able to pick out one he wants right here with a 3-0 count. 2 on and 2 out. On deck hitter is Nick Seidnitzer, the catcher. The designated hitter deciding whether he wants to hit or not here. Right down the middle, a little high, but called strike. The zone's been high today. No inconsistency there. Pitch across the letters has been called a strike. It's over the plate. 3-1 on Heath Lee. That one's inside and had to dance out of the way. He walked him. So 2 walks in the inning have loaded the bases. Michael Wetzler, who's been out there so long, he's starting to get mail. He's now at 3rd. Brandon Parks at 2nd. Heath Lee over at 1st, and out comes Danny Mitchell. And if I had to guess, it looks like Trey Morgan to come in and do a little relief work as he comes in and unwraps some bandage. Brian McBride goes to the dugout, probably to change gloves. Let's see what they do. Easy to spot Trey Morgan. He's got hair that he says he's going to grow until his first day at VMI. So the lefty goes to the mound. And we'll see where the other defenders end up. Morgan, again, not the fireballer that you think. He's certainly gotten stronger as he's gotten older. He's only a junior. But he's so effective with his breaking ball that it's hard to judge what you're going to get. And the left-hander can throw that breaking ball and hit that outside corner. All right, the changes, it looks to be that Keyshawn Johnson is going to center for Morgan. And then maybe Brian McBride goes to short. We'll see how that shapes up. It looks like that's going to be the play. So Brian McBride, if you're scoring at home, he's in the number 3 hole. He goes to short. Johnson goes to center, and Morgan comes in to pitch. So Trey Morgan, he is on the year 4-1. He got an ERA of .90. Thrown 31 in a 3rd inning, giving up 19 hits in those 31 in a 3rd, only 2 doubles. Struck out 37 in his 31 in a 3rd innings and walked only 13. A superb year for the left-hander. And that curveball is a meanie. And so here we go. A lot of warm-up pitches. I think with the time limitations in the major leagues, you probably get a pitch and a half nowadays. But here in high school, you be sure that the young men get fully warm, even though Trey's been in center field and made some throws from out there. The umpire gives him, I believe it's 8 warm-up pitches. This is going to be his 8th. Yep, so the McBrides are covering the left side of the infield for the Crabbers. Brian at short. And Brendan at 3rd. Lee Pack still at 2nd. Julian Martin at first. In Epps in right, Keyshawn Johnson in center. And the left fielder is Max Pietrkowski, or do we have a sub there? Yeah, I think it's Pietrkowski still out there. It's hard to tell. What I can tell is that Nick Seidnitzer's at the plate. 2 down here in the 6th, 7-0 Hampton, but the bases are full of Bruins. Seidnitzer can break up the shutout with a base hit. Michael Wetzler at third, looking for a pass ball or anything. Swing and a miss at the first offering, strike one. Seidnitzer's grounded to second base, grounded to short. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Just trying to put something in the outfield. It falls fairly. He can knock in a run or two. Vassar, the catcher's going to have to watch if he gets a fancy curveball or slider from Morgan. It's a fastball low. Vassar digs it out, 1-1. On the opposing catcher, Nick Seidnitzer, the freshman at Bethel High School. Hampton City Schools moved to academies next year. Interesting to see how that plays out on the athletic fields. These players, students can go to the academy of their choice. Up and in, 2-1 on Seidnitzer. So Wetzler, Parks, and Heath Lee, your runners for the Bruins. Seidnitzer, your batter. Trying to break up the shutout against one of the league's best pitchers, Trey Morgan. Fastball misses in, 3-1. Walk as good as a hit in this situation. Trey Morgan never happy with anything less than success. Not happy with himself. He's gonna kick a little dirt around back there, lick his fingers, think a little bit. Do what baseball players do, adjust their baseball pants. And now he's ready. Numeral 5 looks into his catcher. 2 juniors communicate. Trey to his set. That one, curveball over the plate. 3-2 now. So everybody's going to be running. Antoine Tucker's going to get his guys moving on the 3-2 pitch to Seidnitzer. Morgan's got to pick the right pitch against the big opposing catcher. Here's a pitch. Up high, fouled off. So Seidnitzer can't quite get around, but he does put it out of play, so he gets another pitch. Put a little speed was Morgan on that one. Trey Morgan not happy with the baseball he has in his hand. Rub it up a little bit. Still rubbing it up, rubbing the dirt off on the side of his pants. And his mother cleaned those tonight. They use a thing called Zout or something to get that red dirt out of those white pants. The 3-2, throw to first base, and it gets by Martin, and in comes the score. So Morgan throws the ball away, and the run scores, shutout gone. Michael Wetzler has been out there so long, he's now a 10th grader. He scores on the error on the pitcher. Morgan picks up an error. It's his first, according to my stats, his first error of the year. And Seidnitzer, now with 2 on, is the runner at second base. Parks makes it to third. Lee still at first. So first and third with 2 out, 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to the chopper to the shortstop. Brian McBride, he makes the play, even though it's his first ball he's seen tonight. He was the pitcher. Now the shortstop makes the play, but not before the error to throw to first base allows Bruins to score. They're on the board. It's 7-1 going to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching baseball on LSC 48. Antoine Tucker looks like he may have a change here. He's going to come out and hopefully tell me about it. Wetzler's still at second and short. Looks like we can kind of keep up here. tell the changes, and I'll see if I can spot them. They have a new third baseman who's. Looks like Wallace still in center. Certainly Parks at first. Nathan Wetzler at second. Michael Wetzler at short. And Roberson, Elijah Roberson at third. Yeah, Wayne Hunt still in left, so any changes yet. Anything, it may be in right field. We'll see. Jacob Fleetcheck back on the mound. He's now got his starting catcher out there to warm up a couple pitches with as he was getting his equipment on. After his third ground ball out of the night. But the run did score while he was at the plate. Gonna make the Bruins feel pretty good. Maybe give them a little more energy going into the seventh. Run charge to Brian McBride. He's still in line for the win if the Crabbers can hold on. Fleetcheck with that good curveball, which seems to have gotten better. He came on in the third with 2 outs and bases loaded and got a ground ball to get the Bruins out of that inning. Gave up 3 runs in the 4th, none in the 5th. Trying to hold the Crabbers here in the 6th. Rick Clark trying to get comfortable on a wooden seat, which they're bar chairs, right, Rick? But you wonder, how do you sit on them long enough to even finish a beer when they're hard and wooden and not very comfortable? You do a lot of standing up as you sit up here trying to stay out of this blazing sunshine. As we watch Brian McBride come to the plate. Now the shortstop. He's walked, scored a run, singled, and grounded out. So he's 1 for 2. Facing Jacob Fleetcheck for the 2nd time. First time he walked against Fleetcheck. That pitch is outside or inside for a ball. Music. So 1-0. Fleetcheck hits the outside corner. 1-1. Oh, excuse me, they got a new pitcher. That's what this is. Relief pointer. This is Michael Wetzler pitching. Fleetcheck's going to short. So this is a new pitcher. It is the shortstop rest of the game. Now the pitcher, Michael Wetzler. Fleetcheck looks like he's going to shortstop. 2 young men, both 9th graders, resemble each other a little bit. Both right-handers. Wetzler a little taller. Curveball. Just missed. Ooh, Seidnitzer wanted that one. He held the ball there a long time, but those count goes 3-1. Michael Wetzler delivers up high. He's walked it. Wetzler on in relief. Second Wetzler to pitch tonight. Brother went 2 2/3. Gave up 4 runs. And Julian Martin, first baseman. Martin, if I was great, you need a center on the football team too. Played on the O-line, I think. Fouls that one off. He's certainly big enough. Swings. Fouls the first one off. He sees from Michael Wetzler. There's Brian McBride down at first base. His 3rd time on base tonight. 2nd walk. Brian McBride. 6 stolen bases on the year. Holds. Seidnitzer digs it out. Late break by McBride, and he's in there safely. Ball hit the dirt. Seidnitzer had a little trouble holding on to it. Pitches the ball, but it's 1-1 on Martin. But the runner now at second base. That's a good picture of Michael Wetzler, a freshman from Bethel High School, on in relief. That one's inside. 2-1. Wetzler brothers may have a talk tonight about the zone. They're mighty close with some of these pitches. Of course, we're up above umpire Chris Macbeth. Hard to tell a high-low from up here. That one's away. Easy to tell that was a ball. Bounced away from side netzer. May have caught Macbeth and stopped. But runner McBride ends up at third. 3-1 count on Julian Martin. Martin with some patience. Maybe he'll get himself on first base. Infield comes in during the pitch. Swing and a miss. Interesting defensive ploys. They charged in. Antoine Tucker a little late communicating to his infield, but he got him in now. Runner at third, 3-2 count, nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's the pitch. Swung on and struck him out. Martin out on strikes, his second strikeout tonight. First out of the inning. Here's Charles Vassar, the catcher. 2 for 2 tonight, 2 singles, 2 RBIs. He's walked once and he scored a run. A good night for Vassar, and he's got another duck on the pond. His teammate Brian McBride down at third base. Here's the pitch. In for a strike.
Hey, aiming at that gap here.
If our microphones have any sensitivity at all, you can hear Danny Mitchell coaching from third base. Hence the title, third base coach. And he is not a quiet man. His ball bounces and blocked by side netzer. Nice stop by the catcher. 1-1 on Vassar. Now Danny quite vocal with his players. Been known to have a discussion with an umpire every now and then. But he's also been known as somebody who's given his heart and soul to this field and this team. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Gave a nice speech on Saturday during the dedication. Acknowledged Cindy Mitchell, his wife, mother of his children, and a supporter of his high school baseball habit. She's downstairs now working in the concession stand. That one almost hit him. His curveball broke very late. Almost hit him in the fanny, but did not. 2-2 on Charles Vassar, the agile Charles Vassar, after watching that one. High schools in action all around the area today. It's Tuesday, 1st of May. Popped up on the right side. It looks like it's going to get out of play. And it does. Count stays 2-2 with one out here in the sixth. 7-1 is the score. There's a little bit of discrepancy. The last runner in the 4th inning was taken off the board. So the score, according to our official scorekeeper, is 7-1. 8 runs have crossed, but that Julian Martin run in the 4th was removed. That one's inside, gets away from side netzer. Here comes the runner in. Pitcher Wetzel a little late. Third ball on Vassar. So 8th run now. As a score on the wild pitch. 3-2 count on Vassar, still one out here. As soon as we get the score right on the TV, we got had the run to take it right back up. The Bruins put one across in the top of the inning. Crabbers level it here with one of their own. Pitch just missed. Ball 4. Good close pitch. Side netzer thought he had strike 3. So here's a sub. In the ever more crowded 6-hole in the Crabber lineup, here's Keenan Hughes. Hughes, a sophomore at Hampton High School, and a neighbor of mine and my parents over in Wythe, another Hampton Wythe product. So Hughes gets an at-bat as a designated hitter. Takes a pitch up and away, ball 1.
Mark, a couple more.
So one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Charles Vassar, the catcher over at first base. Keenan Hughes at the plate. Second at-bat of the year, and he takes one inside. 2-0. Hughes looking to get in that scorebook here. Neely gets in with a hit by a pitch. Instead, takes ball 3. Wetzler facing Keenan Hughes. Not ready to put another runner on here in the 6th. Come back with a strike here. The right-hander delivers. It is a strike. Right down the pipe. Hughes taken all the way, 3-1. The sophomore steps out, looks down at Danny Mitchell, and looks back into the plate.
Ready, Boogie, ready now.
There's a pitch away. Missed it. 3 walks in the inning for Michael Wetzler. 2 on now with 1 out. And that's going to do it, I think, for Michael Wetzler's time on the mound. So he used walks. He's on first. Vassar on second. And here's Chance Patrick. I'll take that back. Brendan McBride. Skipped a batter there. McBride, 2-run double in the 2nd. Really put the runs off. Then an RBI single in the 4th. He's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs tonight. As the shadows grow long here at Danny Mitchell Field at Hampton High School. LSC 48 or 23 if you're on FiOS. Bringing you high school baseball here in the old Peninsula District. Hampton welcoming in the Bethel Bruins. Bethel coach Antoine Tucker walks off the field, having talked to Michael Wetzler. Trying to get a couple outs out of him here at the bottom of the 6th. They've got 1 more at bat, and they'd like to keep it as close as possible. Right now it's a 7-run deficit, 8-1. Crabbers 1 down. McBride has been the big hitter tonight with the 3 RBIs and 2 hits and 2 trips. He also has a stolen base. Left-hand hitter facing the righty Wetzler for the first time today. Here's a pitch. Miss low. Ball 1. Wetzler not missing by much. That one just a little bit below the knee of Brendan McBride. Left-handed hitter, right-hander in the field. He's a third baseman. That one's low, 2-0. A lot of room out there, right center field, where McBride has put both of his hits. 1 deep for a double, 1 shorter for a single. Pitch catches the outside corner, 2-1 now. Good pitch from Michael Wetzler. Right-hander ready to go. Left-hand hitter is not. He checks his bat, steps back in. Check comes and tries to guard second base to make the runner go back. It succeeds, but the pitch of the ball, 3-1. Here's a 3-1. Swing and a miss. Probably could have been ball 4. But the zone has been called high today. Probably not a bad idea to take a cut at it. You're up 8-1. Room in down the left field line. If he can catch one on the outside corner. See what McBride does. He's hit both the right center field. Let's see if he tries to go that way. Nope, goes to the left field side and fouls it off. Brendan McBride getting some helpful batting tips from Danny Mitchell. It's a pitch. Drilled out in left center field. It's tailing away from the center fielder. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Runners had to freeze. Throw comes into third. And he's in there safely. So a single for McBride, his 3rd hit of the night. And he's put runners at all the bags with 1 out here. And here's Max Pietrzykowski. Pietrzykowski comes back in. Patrick hit for him in the 5th. kind of like a softball game with these switches. That one fouled off, rolls down, kind of spins down third base line. Strike one. Kecoughtan 0 for 2 tonight. So runners at all 3 bags for the Crabbers. 2 runs, I mean 3 runs scored would do it. I believe is there a 10-run rule? Nope. Pops it up over the right field side over his Parks. Makes a nice catch, his second nice catch of a foul ball tonight. He went down to try to make the catch. Nobody covering home plate. So they got the fly ball, but they're very lucky that Vassar didn't try to slip home as everybody was up trying to catch the foul ball. 2 down now. Here's Niall Epps. Epps with a single in 3 trips tonight. Epps 13 for 37. He swings and misses. A high fastball, strike one. Trey Morgan on deck. I know he'd like to get a chance to get that run back. But Epps is going to have to get on base safely. Oh, hit him. Well, it's an RBI. As the Crabbers move up 90 feet. And Vassar comes in to score. Hughes now at third base. McBride at second. And now Epps at first. So here's Trey Morgan. He's got 2 hits tonight and 4 trips. A single to right field, knocked a run in the second, and a single to left field. Left-hand swinger. His first at bat against Michael Wetzler here. I have no doubt he's batted against him in the Little League travel ball arena. Wetzler a year or 2 years younger. Delivers a strike to his 2-year senior, the junior Trey Morgan. Gives me a nice smile from the batter's box. As a change and run for McBride. Johnny McCarthy's going to go out and run for Brendan McBride. Trey Morgan is such a pleasant guy to be around. Even in the batter's box, he's very comfortable, confident. This guy's grown up around good baseball. Here's a pitch, curveball low. He tells Wetzler good pitch, and it was a good pitch, just low. And one of his better curveballs. 1-1. Morgan's one of those guys that if he thinks it's a ball, usually it's a ball. We saw the one pitch from Fleetcheck, the curveball that caught the outside corner that surprised him, but I haven't seen him surprise the rest of the night. This is his 5th at bat in this game. Ground out, 2 ground outs to the right side, 2 singles and an RBI for a guy that's got to be near the top of Peninsula District hitting. Here's a pitch upstairs, 2-1. Problem with pitchers falling behind to Morgan is he's looking for the fastball. He's having a full-blown conversation with the umpire. When he pulls a sandwich out of his pocket and starts eating, we'll know he's really comfortable out there in the batter's box. Here's a pitch. Away. 3-1. So Wetzler in danger of walking a run in here. He's already pushed one in with a hit by pitch. Epps over at first base with a sore RBI. Morgan looking for something he can drive. And he takes it. Ball 4. 4th walk in the inning for Wetzler. That's an RBI, his 2nd of the game for Morgan as Keenan Hughes scores. Over to third goes Johnny McCarthy, and at second base is Niall Epps. And here's Keyshawn Johnson. It's 10-1 now. That pitch is low.
That's why you hit that here.
1-0. Johnson had hit by a pitch and scored a run. Had a single and came around and scored a run in the 4th. Struck out in the 5th, and he lines one of the second baseman, Nathan Wetzler, and he makes the catch, saving his brother even more trouble here in the inning. That does it for the Crabbers here in the 6th, but they go to the top of the 7th. Last shot for the Bethel Bruins. They trail it 10-1. You're watching baseball on LSC 48. I want to thank you for joining us. Hope you'll watch us every week. Pick a night. Although it's hockey playoffs right now, Stanley Cup playoffs, you're probably like me, glued to the TV, especially if you're a local Capitals fan. I happen not to be, but I do enjoy watching good hockey. Good time of year to do that. So if you're not watching playoff hockey, turn on LSC 48 or 23 on FiOS. Catch a game. Andy Foley and crew bring you some really good football, basketball. We've done some volleyball. We need to do more volleyball. It's great stuff. Mike Trepa's doing a great job over here at Hampton High. Thanks for hosting us today. Once Rick Clark showed him how to fix a scoreboard, we really don't need him, do we? And he's done a nice job. He was the host for the Danny Mitchell dedication on Saturday and did a wonderful job in front of a big crowd. Back to the game now as Trey Morgan's going to close it out here in the 7th. Bethel is trying to stretch this thing out a little bit. They need 9 to tie, 10 to move ahead. Jacob Fleechek, Wayne Hunt, Kiami Wallace, 8, 9, and 1 for the Bruins. Boy, that curveball is mean. That thing looks like it was going to float in, that warm-up pitch he just threw. You can slow it down at home. Watch him when he gives them the sign to throw that curveball. It's a change up here. It's very effective. And throw down by Vassar, who's done a great job behind the plate today. Morgan get the Bruins out here in the top of the 7th. His teammate Brian McBride will pick up his 3rd or 4th win of the year against no losses. Jacob Fleechek now is singled and popped to right. Pitched pretty good in the middle part of the game. Gave up 3 runs out of the 10. Fleechek, Hunt, and Wallace. Good shot of Jacob Fleechek, facing a guy I'm sure he's faced in many layers of baseball. Swing and a miss at the curveball, strike 1. It's a mighty tough pitch to hit. Starts off about midway the left-hand hitter batter's box and then breaks across. With the camera on an angle there, it's hard to see, but when you're sitting like I am behind the plate, you can watch it. There's another one, not a curveball, more of a outside changeup, but he missed, 1-1. Morgan doesn't seem to ever be comfortable out there until he gets to his set. Here he goes. Now he steps off. He and Vassar communicate some secret language, and he's looks like he's calling a pitch he wants to call. Sees something with the batter, and he delivers inside. Catches the inside corner with a fastball. That's a little more zip than he certainly had last year. Good fastball up and in on Fleechek, called strike, so it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Oh, that soft pitch drifts away. Strike 3. First strikeout for Morgan. Now pitched 2/3 of an inning. Now Wayne Hunt, scheduled hitter, and it is going to be Wayne Hunt.
Next, number 3, Hunt.
Hunt tonight has got a single to left and ground out to short. 1 for 2. His single came back in the 5th against Brian McBride. Pitch from Trey Morgan. Curveball stays away, or whatever he's trying to throw. I don't know what. That's a changeup he's working on. Looked a little too straight to be the curve. Either that or he's whatever he's doing didn't break, but he's working on something. That one didn't catch the corner. The 1-0. That's fastball. Catches the outside corner. Swung on a miss. 1-1 from Hunt. Crabber pitching been very successful on the outside corner today, staying away from the big right-handed hitters. So 1 down here, top of the 7th. 10-1 Hampton. Bethel trying to get a few more runs on the board. Curveball low. Henry III didn't think much of that call, but he's going to come back with something a little higher in the zone. Time call at the plate. Morgan dances in as he's about ready to let loose of it. So here we go. The 2-1 from Trey Morgan. Fastball right down the pipe. 2-2. Mixing it up well is Trey Morgan.
Hey, get you one. Get you one. Let's go now. Be aggressive. Look back, low hand, step back. Curve ball to right.
Here's the pitch. Outside. Good eye from Wayne Hunt. He was looking for that outside corner fastball that time. Got that little change again on the too far out. So now 3-2. Morgan's got to come to him. And he does. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down here. 2 strikeouts in a row for Morgan. And here's Kiami Wallace, the leadoff man, trying to keep this game alive for the Bruins. Bruins will fall to 5-8 if they can't pull this one out. Grabbers move to 13-2 if they can. They can pull it out. Or hold on, probably a better way to say it. 10-1 here, top of the 7th, on a sunny, warm, beautiful afternoon in Hampton, Virginia. Ground ball sharply in left field, base hit past the diving Brendan McBride. First hit for Wallace tonight. Came at a good time. Now, Michael Wetzler is going to hit. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He had a single and he scored the only run for the Bruins back in the 6th. So Kiami Wallace gets to Morgan, gets a single right under the diving body of McBride. Morgan going to try to settle down and get Wetzler, his opposing pitcher at the moment in the scorebook. Curveball swung and missed. That came right out of his shoes swinging that time. Did Wetzler. Took a great cut on it, got all his money's worth, but that ball was biting hard towards his back foot. Vassar had to stop it, hold the runner at first. Wallace not going to try to steal here. What he wants is get a hit and pass it back. He's done his part. Pitch up and away, ball 1. Wallace comes off first. Julian Martin holding him over there. Morgan with a pitch, curveball, in for a strike. That's that mean curveball. You have no idea where that's going. And that's when he sets it up with that outside change. It looks just alike. If the curveball breaks across and catches the outside corner to the right-hander. 1-2 now on Wetzler as he tries to strike out the side. Popped on the infield. Martin. Now Morgan. Morgan very nearly got it. Drops into the Bruin dugout. I thought for a minute he was going to climb Julian Martin's shoulders and try to get it, but the two of them both make a leaping effort. Don't get it. Count stays 1-2. Morgan tells Martin to get back over there. Says something to his first baseman that draws a smile and gets ready to throw another 1-2 pitch. Michael Wetzler awaits. Here's a pitch. Fastball swung on the dirt, gets away from the catcher. And he's going to tag him, and that's going to do it. Swung and he missed it. Strike 3. And that does it for the ball game, folks. The Hampton Crabbers win it 10-1. They go to 13-2. The Bruins fall to 5-8. Both teams will come out and shake hands. Well played ball game. Well called by Rick Clark here at in the booth. I want to thank the coaches, Antoine Tucker for Bethel and Danny Mitchell for Hampton, for sharing the lineups and being so generous with the information on their players. I want to thank our crew tonight for bringing us the ball, or bringing you the ball game. Andy Foley, the crew chief. Krista Campbell doing the directing tonight. Randy Vigoli doing the audio. Renee Camden running the cameras from inside the truck. Nate Braxton, Alex Pagoli, and Steve Fryer running them on the outside. Want to wish my broadcast mate, Wube Gabre, good health. Hope to see him back. I know Andy hopes to see him back at work tomorrow if it's truly the 24-hour bug that he claimed this morning. But hope Wube recovers quickly, and we'll see you again on LSC. We got a game later this week. Catch us on LSC 48 or 23 if you're on FiOS all day and all night long. And if you like it, let your council people know. Election day today. Hope you voted. Hope to see you soon. Good night from Hampton High School. Final score here. The Hampton Crabbers 10, the Bethel Bruins 1.